Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Heroes Lounge Season 5. Wow, I had to think there. My name is Rob, and your caster for this evening's festivities, which is a Division 3 clash between My Little Pony and N.E.W.T. And I'm not alone this evening. I'm joined by Dentro. Dentro, how are you, sir?
I'm doing quite well. Looking forward to this Division 3 game here.
Yeah, it's going to be most enjoyable, and the map we're going to go to is Cursed Hollow. So map bans were Tomb of the Spider Queen for My Little Pony and Infernal Shrines for N.E.W.T. Let's see if the teams are ready.
I believe so.
They've already said they're ready. Awesome. So let's get the show underway, shall we?
Yep.
Let's press that button, followed by that button.
So both of these teams are currently sitting in the lower half of their division, and My Little Ponies are 2-2. N.E.W.T has 1-3 scores so far. Looking to better those numbers, of course.
So, first ban going on the side of N.E.W.T here on this Cursed Hollow. Not a bad map for N.E.W.T. I know N.E.W.T pretty well due to the fact I've played with most of them for multiple seasons in Deported Sport, their former team.
Yep, that helps. I don't know the players as well, like I know of them, but not what they actually play in game.
Yeah, so they're quite good with their globals and whatnot. So I wouldn't be shocked to see some sort of Faustad or the Hacker more likely prioritised.
Yeah, we've seen some Dahaka this season. I haven't actually seen Falstad from them, I believe. Some Brightwing, but no Falstad actually. They do like some Vikings and ABBA though, so maybe a specialist will emerge.
Yeah, Straya's well known for his Vikings. Not as likely on this map. We are actually seeing an early Faustad ban being hovered here by My Little Pony.
I honestly don't think he warrants a ban. I think he's too weak, teamfight wise.
And said they do agree with you going with the ETC ban. ETC obviously given the pseudo global and just being such a strong tank at the moment.
And it's something they've been using for N.E.W.T as well, so it makes sense. It's their highest picked hero this season.
So what will the first pick be?
I would take Sonya every time, but I'm a one-trick pony and it wins games. So I may have been colored, in my opinion there. They go for the Greymane pick, very strong assassin. He can do almost everything, so doesn't tell anything about the draft either. It's a strong choice.
Yeah, Greymane a very strong all-round hero, fits into a multitude of comps, whether you're going like dive with something like a Tyrael, for example, or if you want to go for the ABBA, he works very well as well, being a good ABBA clone copy. So, next couple of picks are My Little Ponies. What do we reckon they're going to try and prioritise here?
We don't have as much data on their team, but they like Arthas, Anubrak, Vala, and then like your standard mages. They have some Gul'dan, Liming, as well as Rhaegar and Uther. So they have a cadre of heroes they can choose between. Nothing actually stands out as like a superior pick right now on this map. Go for a Muradin Vala here.
Okay, it's interesting. Very early on the Muradin there, but is that a favoured hero for them, Muradin?
Not really, to be honest. I think they've played it once. They do like their double tank though. They run like Arthas Muradin, Anubrak Arthas. They skew away from the Bruiser. They don't like the Dahaka or Sonya or Leoric. They take like double tanks. So they may be angling for another pickup later in the draft.
So I wonder if they're going to go for the Rhaegar here as an early priority. He matches up very well with the Greymane as a favoured hero. Instead, no, opting for the Lucio, which is another favoured hero of minions, the support player for N.E.W.T.
Yeah, I also think he's just a very good healer right now.
Mm.
He has the output. Like, he's one of the few heroes who has like the old school solo target, solo healing output,
Mm.
just because of his level 16 talents. And yeah, he just has good healing, so I don't mind it at all. The lack of cleanse could hurt them in the long run, but depends on what My Little Pony end up going with.
Apologies for the coughing fits, ladies and gentlemen. Still feeling a bit under the weather, but I wanted to at least get a game out to you guys.
We appreciate it. As a co-caster, I can't really control any casting done here. I'm just along for the ride. We see a N.E.W.T getting removed by My Little Pony. Good hard engage target, but perhaps they're angling for double support of their own. N.E.W.T was my favorite way of breaking that up earlier. He still is pretty good at it because of Cocoon.
Could very well be. Or they could be opting to go for, I don't know, something along the lines of a Li Ming, who obviously suffers a little bit into the N.E.W.T. Vala ban, I don't mind here at all, especially if they're worried about the double support. Sorry, Oriel ban, not Vala ban. Especially if they're going to double support. It goes very well with Vala anyway, but Oriel into double support is a particular nuisance.
If you take like Auriel and Rhaegar on the side of My Little Pony, I think you have a pretty big problem for N.E.W.T. So it's a good ban removing one of them.
Exactly. Going for two of the heroes that really empowered Vala here, so just not wanting to deal with that hyper carry style of play.
I wonder, like, I feel like Rhaegar should be coming in here, but I don't know what else you would take. They go for a Li Ming for some extra poke, so that's double squishy backline.
As I expected, with the N.E.W.T ban, it kind of telegraphed it a bit.
Yeah, you're right, it's true. I do expect the support, but we could see their like other tank here.
I go for the solo lane of Sonya wanting to pick that up now.
Yeah, they're actually going against the grain of their earlier drafts. This is the first Sonya they've played this season, so trying some new stuff, and I don't mind it at all. She's good. She wins versus the Hakan lane. She can duel Greymane quite well, although she does lose that lane over time. Do you think this is an ABBA comp for new?
I would have been more convinced of the other comp if it had been the Rhaegar, if I'm being honest, but still absolutely could be. The Hacker's a very good hat target. You do get the benefit of kind of like that double global of oh, there's only 3 of us here, then all of a sudden there's 5 of us with the Hacker global and the ABBA clone at 10. So that can be quite disconcerting to deal with for a lot of people. And my Discord's not on stream mode, so it's making noises when I get pinged. Let's just fix that. Streamer mode.
Just a straight up double backline, double tank here for N.E.W.T. They go with Diablo and Gul'dan. It's a pretty strong, like, I wouldn't call it combo, but like the potential of Apocalypse and Horrify as heroics in general is so big that you can turn a fight with those abilities alone.
They're a little counterintuitive to each other though, so they need to be well timed and they need to call them out correctly. And we go for the Stukov here, which I actually like quite a bit into that Diablo. I find Diablo can... A lot of what he does is very telegraphed, so a good Stukov silence can really help out
there. Engaging as a tank into a Stukov silence, that feels so bad, because you're so handicapped you can do nothing except run away, maybe auto attack. Especially N.E.W.T is very susceptible to it, so nice Stukov pickup here. Both drops basically looking the same, with the edge for 1 global for N.E.W.T. This is gonna be a scrap, I think.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. A lot of this is going to come down to how much benefit can N.E.W.T get out of that global versus how do these team fights go? With that Li Ming, you have a lot of poke. With Gul'dan, you have a similar, but not quite the same amount of range or mobility on it, so it has to be a bit more careful. With the Lucio, obviously, you do have the benefit of having that speed ability on him with the speed boost, so it can potentially get away. And also with the Lucio, you do have that all-important sound barrier when they do have a heavy engage from the Sonya. So like followed up with a Li Ming Vala damage, a good sound barrier is really going to help them turn this fight and allow Greymane to turn around and wreck some face. However, let's get the game started, and on the left side we have My Little Pony with Rainbow Dash on the Sonya, Anteriados on the Vala, Schnecko playing that Stukov, Eleganos on the Muradin, and Sneaky Turtle on the Li Ming.
And in the red on the right, we have N.E.W.T with the Greymane played by Pitor, Dehaka played by Astreus, Diablo played by Chowchilla, Lucio played by Minion, and Gul'dan played by Hazeti.
That is interesting. I'm not used to seeing anybody other than Hazeti on Dehaka for N.E.W.T, so be interested to see how Astreus does on that hero for them. We are having the two-man going bottom at the start here with the Dehaka and the Greymane.
Smells like a Dehaka burrow. After he gets Essence bottom, he can get the Essence top as well. So a nice little power play there by Dehaka. So we're gonna have a bit of a lull in the early game, I believe. We're not gonna see super much. So I wanted to ask, who do you think has the better boss control? Because this map usually comes down to either curses or bosses, and so yeah.
I would have to go with N.E.W.T just purely because of the Horrify. If they can hold the Horrifies for them, Horrify is so good at helping you secure a boss. So we do see Dehaka burrowing top there, a little bit more damage taken. However, bottom tower has been taken on the side of N.E.W.T, taking out that bottom tower there in the bottom lane. Laning currently a bit interesting. We have Diablo and Greymane going up against going up against Stukov and Vala. Whereas in the middle lane you've got the Gul'dan and the Lucio going up against the Muradin Li Ming. And then the more traditional pairing of Dehaka into Sonya. Dehaka's going to struggle here before level 4, before he starts really getting that extra amount of essence generation from the minions. So before that he is going to struggle. However, we are having some really nice push here. The bottom lane, minion on the Lucio has gone down, and they have secured that second tower there, I think.
Yep. And we see a Greymane move to the bottom siege camp here, as expected. I do wonder if Muradin's gonna find it out, but he goes for the bottom lane instead. Gets stunned for his trouble by Diablo, but I don't think we're gonna see a kill here, probably not. Do get a lot of damage into Diablo though. Another stun from Muradin might actually confirm this. Good poop. So forces the tap from Diablo. That could be a big deal coming into the curse fight there later. Looking
at the tanks, we do see force armor coming out from Li Ming will help with defense. We got a traditional Q build there from the Greymane. Let's roll the dice. Is not what N.E.W.T really wanted. However, Azeti is dropping very, very low there, trying to drain some life to see if he can stay alive. 60 health. That is huge for them. The fact he didn't die there, really good for them.
Yeah, but he's gonna be away for the fight basically, so they're still fighting a man down. They're just gonna get this for free though, which is a bit awkward.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they didn't even try for it at all. That's
yeah,
does surprise me.
They should have an option to go for this with Stukov and Vala. You can delay a little bit at least, and then send Muradin down there. But they just give it for free, and like nothing happens in the lanes either because N.E.W.T didn't lose any XP.
We are having a dance game from the chat from our very own Toxic Fruit Mango with the fetid touch pickup. Oh, Diablo is getting focused down a bit, trying to escape here. Will he be able to get out of here? I don't think. Oh, 25 health. That is so lucky.
Yeah, like that feels bad for My Little Ponies for sure. You're an auto attack away from confirming 2 kills, which could legit make this game look very different.
Once again, we're having good camp priority on the side of Newt. However, they are going to have to give up this tribute in exchange for it. But I like the fact they're actually trying to pick up these camps here. Camps can be so important on this map. Get a good camp with a good tribute spawn, and suddenly you're pressuring a fort.
Yeah, for sure. Gonna get the tower in the bottom probably for the blue team. They get the minion wave in there. Elsewhere on the map, we see cooldown pushing in the middle with getting engaged upon by Merlin actually. Liming has to go into the wave.
I think he's... Oh, nice juke. I think he's going to just get away.
Oh.
However, Gul'dan jumping in, I would have loved to have seen him jumping on the Meridian there. I think he could have secured that kill.
Yeah, he was very close. If the cocktail connects with Meridian, I think he dies. But so is not the case. A lot of close calls here for both teams.
Yeah, we are seeing Lucio zone there with Sonya in the top there. Does need to be a bit careful here. Stress with the tongue having to back away. Is able to get out of there, and you have a nice flank by Diablo. Now Gul'dan, lots of damage being put out onto the team of My Little Pony. However, Stress is the first one who falls on that hacker, and that is going to force Newt to back away here.
Yeah, good little fight here by My Little Pony. The Haka did not have essence, it was forced out earlier in the lane by Sonya. So he could not save himself there, unfortunately. So 2-1 in curses, but XP is basically even. It's like a quarter of a difference, and they have people in every lane for N.E.W.T. On the blue side, we see them taking their siege camp with Vala and Stukov, and just setting up for level 10 and the potential curse point for them for My Little Ponies.
Yeah, first camp of the game here, and in counter, Newt are going to go onto their siege camp also, just as we have a tribute spawning here. Location does favour Newt with where it is. This is one of the more awkward ones to get to. However, they need to get people on it soon. They are a little late getting in there, and if Muradin can get an aggressive position here, they may struggle.
Yeah, they're not going to have 10 either, so if My Little Ponies gets 10 before this engage actually happens, it's terrible for N.E.W.T. And now they have a good position with the blue team. Takes a lot of corruption damage though.
I like the fact they're leaving the hacker to try and soak the lane here. They do have a Diablo coming in with the engage, but it was just as the opponent had the level 10, which was a little bit of a mistake there, and it does force them to give up this first curse of the game.
Yeah, great leap over the bush by Sonya, following up on the engage by Merlin. The team seems to be on point here, and now they're 3 in the mid lane versus 3 with heroics.
Yeah, need to be a bit careful here. The hacker is taking a lot of damage. However, a flip over the wall doesn't actually help them in this situation because they are currently cursed. It looks like they're going to get a kill onto the Lucio here. 4 kills to 0. This is exactly what N.E.W.T did not need going into this game. They are taking heavy structural losses as well here. And they're trying to pick fights, and they're just feeding one after another here. I don't understand why they keep going in after one of them has died. They should just be trying to back off as much as possible, ride out the rest of this curse, and then try and get a comeback.
Yeah, you have good boss control, and if you can stay like within a level of your opponent, you're going to be okay. You have the Haka, you can soak that back, but now you're 3 levels behind. That's a lot. That's like very difficult to just out-soak your opponent back here. You need like pick-offs, you need good macro plays with picking up forts and stuff, so you're gonna have a tough road ahead of them. Both teams go for their bosses.
I like the fact N.E.W.T recognised this was the time to go and get their boss as well, because they really do need to do it as quickly as possible. They have very good boss race with that grey main also, so they should be able to do it without any concern of My Little Pony getting to them.
Yeah, they're gonna be fine. They get to trade out. So the boss deny is worth more almost than the boss itself. Like if your opponent gets this, your keep is actually threatened on your side. Now you get to defend the bottom boss without too much problems. You can soak your middle and bottom lanes, and you're gonna be okay.
Absolutely. Both teams looking to take out this boss here with the Sonya and Vala. That will drop pretty sharpish as the bottom bosses, however, pushing that keep ball. Probably going to get a tower down here. I'm not expecting any more. Perhaps a gate as well. However, during all this, you've also got My Little Pony taking out some of the opposing, some of their camps as well.
Yeah, a bit more efficient use of their time, I suppose you could call it. They don't send the whole team to the boss, mostly because like the top fort isn't so valuable anyway that you can let it lose the front wall. Now though, level 13 is moving up for N.E.W.T, and for My Little Ponies they're looking for 16. They're also looking for some sort of invader in the top bush. Chinese bush meta hype.
Yeah, I think N.E.W.T know what's happening as well.
Gather tribute.
Yeah, some nice conservative play actually. They're not showing on the map. You're not gonna give any kills up here. Perhaps they wisened up from the first curse. They're losing a lot of members.
I would like N.E.W.T to just flat out ignore this tribute. I'd send a hacker top and try and soak the other lanes as best they can. Try and get those level 13s and then see about if they are able to pick a fight.
Yeah. They got a level back on their opponents, which is nice, but you're gonna need more than that. Bosses are like 3 minutes away or so. There's gonna be at least 2 curses in between, and if you keep up both, you're in a bad position, so you're gonna need to make something happen here for N.E.W.T. It's not unwinnable for sure, but you're down a significant amount.
Absolutely. My Little Pony are doing the right thing as well. They are not stepping up anywhere close to aggressive. They know they've just got to wait for like another half a minute, and they've all again got their level 16 talent lead and a decent chunk of time before N.E.W.T are able to catch them up, which means they're probably going to be able to get the next tribute as well.
Diablo might be a bit too far out. No, he's okay. But yeah, so this is the question, right? Do you go in here versus this very close level 16? I think they are. They're going in.
Diablo's taken a lot of damage there. We are looking for potential engage. The hacker is burrowing it into the back as we do see that leap. Apocalypse is used as well. However, Stress taking so much damage there. Has to pop his essence. We do see Greymane fall. Leaving, getting those resets, gets to go onto Diablo after the Greymane. Stress is probably going to fall on that hacker. That is 3 kills to 0. A very nice team fight there for My Little Ponies.
Yeah, for sure. They knew they were ready for it. That this was not an ambush. This was not like a flank or anything. They knew they were coming. So good engage by the Sonya in the backline. The hacker was perhaps slightly he was half hit points when he joined the fight. You know your team wants to go. You can Hearthstone back and then still burrow in. Min-maxing that could have helped them, because the little XP you may pick up is not going to matter. But still a good fight from the blue team, and they pick up that curse.
So this is Curse Point once again. I think they're just going to try and eat it. I'm not sure they can actually do anything here.
Oh, this is unfortunate though. The top boss is going to spawn soon, and if you don't contest the curse, you're gonna have double bosses into you probably. So you need to pick a fight somewhere, but if you do, you're just cursed on the map, and you probably lose a keep just because of minions.
Yeah, awkward position for them. It's going to be very difficult for them to come back here.
Yeah, they have the heroics though. They can maybe get a pick off here.
They need a really good horror fight here. That's what it's going to take. A good engaging horror fight to try and get a pick off on someone. Get the 5v4 and then start to pick a fight.
Yep.
However, the Leemings just zone them out really well.
The Merlin, sorry. Still could use this heal.
Not able to do anything here. Gul'dan's just not able to step up here at all.
No.
Ooh. We do see the sound barrier being used, and a little premature there, I think. And a beautiful leap from the Sonya. Nice fear from the Gul'dan. I don't know if they're going to be able to follow this up though. They are fighting underneath his core. Diablo is taking a lot of damage here. Apocalypse is used, does manage to land on a few of them. Muradin is able to get back. Are they going to go for core here? Can they? They get the kill onto the hacker. And onto... Sonya just dies. Flat out. And
Muradin can tank this, they can do core for sure.
Yeah, they need to be sensible about their positioning though.
That tower's going to grief them.
Oh, can Hazeti save this here?
This tower, man, it killed 3 people actually.
Wow.
Hero tower from N.E.W.T.
Tower MVP, ladies and gentlemen. This tower.
Get that clipped, someone.
This tower, ladies and gentlemen. So brave.
Yeah.
So
now you can actually do a double boss play from N.E.W.T. You go your own boss and then go your opponent's boss. And you actually might be back in this game. The hacker can deal with the kata pressure middle if you need to. So we have a game on our hands. I actually thought they had that, but
yeah,
Sonya
just
dying, then
the core was a little greedy. They were low on health, and Stukov just wasn't able to get them up quick enough. And now this is potentially going to be a double boss from N.E.W.T here.
Yeah, for sure. This is like an issue with the cramped. The bases are quite cramped on the early maps because they didn't know like how much space you needed, so they didn't actually have a clear path of retreat out from the core. The Haka, early scouting in the bottom, sees basically a full team. So how are we gonna engage this? How many souls does Diablo have actually? He has full souls, so we're fine there.
So this is good for N.E.W.T because that boss is getting incredible value up in the top. However, the camp is slowly killing it, so won't get too much more than this, I imagine.
Yeah, and the middle is gonna push into them as well, so then something needs to happen here. They send the Haka, so now the blue team sees. They know they're missing one, but the Haka can join. The face check spear into the party bush by Sonya.
Very tentative from both teams. Oh, look out for flanking Sonya. Very nice stun. We need a nice sound barrier there. Apocalypse to follow up. Will we see a turnaround here from N.E.W.T? Lots of damage being put onto that Diablo, however. He is going to fall, as is that Diablo and the Hacker both falling there. And I think that's going to be Peter as well, and that's probably game.
Minion tries to escape. Good combo there by Liming though, as well as the Stormbolt. 2-man defense, no hero tower anymore.
Yep, that tower is dead. And yeah, they're just going straight onto the core here. Diablo is taking a chunk of damage, just having to back away all the storms. However, game number 1 goes over to My Little Pony, despite the comeback there from N.E.W.T.
Yeah, I have to call Sonya MVP. Like every leap engage led to at least 2 kills. And it won every team fight basically. Yeah, Rainbow Dash on that Sonya. Nice play. Yeah,
really good Sonya play there by Rainbow Dash on the side of My Little Pony. Sonya's just so strong at the moment in general. She's just... I know my team has had serious issues against her recently, to the point where it's like we've had to start considering first banning her just because she is so strong in the game at the moment.
Yeah. Right. So, N.E.W.T gets the choice of first pick or map pick. Let's see, what did they play? We could see a map pick from them. If we see towers, I'm very hyped. If not, we can just see something normal instead.
Let's see what they want to do. Get Towers of Doom, the classic.
Ooh, we get towers.
It was originally a deported support map. I'll make you leader. You can set this up. There you go. Yep. It was traditionally a deported support map. We had great success there, and so out of that team that just played, 4 out of the 5 of them were deported support members. Narsha, also part of N.E.W.T, who's also another new one along with Pete or to make that N.E.W.T team, but definitely a depot map.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, Towers of Doom, we are getting that set up. Let's change the lighting. I have a fancy light bulb now, so I can change the colours. It amuses me. What colour is Towers of Doom?
It's like green and purple.
I can do green. Let's go green. I just had purple, so...
Yeah. Going with the... I haven't actually seen this on stream because I don't really have the time to, but I'm reminded of the HGC casting they did where they had like the color schemes for the set for the normal season, which I learned.
Okay, both teams are in the lobby now for game number 2 of this best of 3 series.
Oh, right. We should have it to draft mode, perhaps.
Yeah, it's always a good idea.
So, let's see if the teams are good.
And we'll get it underway.
Yeah. For Towers of Doom, what would you expect normally?
Oh, God. They've got a few ways of doing it, whether it be in double global or potentially a Vikings or ABBA. They have quite a few different tactics, does N.E.W.T. My Little Pony, I'm not so sure on.
I don't think they've played Towers at all. They haven't, so we basically don't know. They could play anything. The Sonya looked strong for them. I wouldn't mind picking that up again. Considering they got it like their 3-4 pick.
I would be surprised if N.E.W.T didn't ban the Sonya.
Yeah.
I'm like really surprised. Because that Sonya just wrecked them every time.
Yeah, like Sonya needs peel in the backline and they always got engaged upon. I feel like Diablo maybe didn't feel comfortable going in. Like Murden is not the best target, but with the tools you have into Stukov, I think you had like moments of opportunity where you could actually kill him. But it's difficult to do, of course, and if you fail the engage, you're gonna lose the team fight. But then again, if you get engaged upon every time, that's kind of awkward as well.
Absolutely. Hovering the Faustad ban again.
I'm surprised by this. It's not the best global in my opinion, but we see it there anyway.
It's one of those things, unless you're planning to run something like a Genji, you can kind of get away with Faustad on this map, I think. This is one of the maps I think you can, and we see that a hacker ban there. I'm assuming we're about to have a first pick, Sonya from My Little Pony.
We could for sure. It looked good last game. Other choices, we prioritized Murden and Vala highly the earlier draft. I don't think we see Murden first pick. That seems like unnecessary prioritization on him. What else? N.E.W.T? No. Like Vala, maybe? I don't know. Tassadar is open.
You could opt into the first pick Tass, yeah. Taking their time with this first pick.
Yeah.
Both the major globals are down.
Still just take ETC.
ETC, yeah, ETC is a good first pick.
It doesn't say much about your draft either, much like Greymane, which is also open. Like, you have so many options, and I think this is what they're discussing here.
Opting for the Greymane, but it's a deny as well because N.E.W.T prioritised it so heavily. I would like to see N.E.W.T pick up a Sonya themselves.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. You go for leaving ETC?
That's a very early leaming for me, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it kind of is, but it's among the best interrupts for Mosh Pit, so that's one point for it.
And does get value on this with the delays as well.
Yeah.
Looking at their comp, I don't believe they're going Vikings. Just Li Ming doesn't.
We did see though, Li Ming, Alarak, Uther, ETC, Vikings.
We did, we? Oh, okay, it's interesting. Oh, I got the Sonya as well, but I really like the 3-man of My Little Pony so much.
Scary from them.
There's so much dive.
Yep. And ETC can't really peel this. You have to mosh peel basically, which is not the best. And then you wouldn't have the global anyway, so... A strong start from My Little Pony. Let's see how N.E.W.T round this out. I'm just gonna say like Alarak Vikings in their comp somewhere, and then we'll see if that ends up being true. Stukov band out.
Stukov band, that's interesting.
How much scouting do you think My Little Pony did on their opponent?
I think we're about to find out. If this is a Vikings band, then we know.
Yeah. Like, even...
looking at the Malfuel ban.
Yeah.
So, I know Peter does like Malfuel as well. If they go to Malfuel ban, I'm fully expecting a Vikings pick from them now.
Yeah.
If they go with a Malfuel ban.
Taking their time here.
It's how worried are they about it, because there's still so many things that N.E.W.T can go into. Like, yeah, they could go Vikings, but they have shown they have other strategies on this map.
Yeah. I wonder... Yeah, okay, so they look in the multi. I don't mind it because it's very good versus them.
So are we going to see Ufa Alarak here?
Yeah, or you could actually wait with your support, unless you really want Uther because he has more stuns, more crowd control. And if they did go that route, I wouldn't actually mind Divine Storm into what they have on their opposing side. But that's very far down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, if they go Vikings, they're going to last pick it at this point. Just purely because they don't want to give the opposing team enough time to directly counter it if they can. Yeah,
for sure. Sonya chases them away pretty well. If you hit the spear, they usually die. Draymond as well.
That's Ufa. Are we about to see Alarak?
I'm gonna say Alarak. If it's not,
yeah.
Okay. Yep, this is the same draft. Run it back. So, if you know it's a Viking last pick, what would you take for My Little Pony?
Oh, so a Falstad or Dahaka would have been good.
Yeah.
One of the globals. I think potentially an ABBA.
Doesn't he just lose into Vikings though?
Yeah, but I think ABBA has a lot of uses on this map. I think it does at least give you a bit of a counter of the global, and ABBA's pretty good with the grey main as well. Yeah, but if you've already got the Sonya, I'm not as enthralled with it. I don't know.
ABBA on any of these three heroes is very good, so I'm not against it in that sense, but just push-wise, ABBA usually loses to Vikings. And yeah. You also have to have an Avatar player on your team, and they haven't played it yet. They go for Lunara and Lucio, so...
I like the Lunara pickup. It's a bit of a counter to the solo Ufa there, saying, sure, if you want to go solo Ufa, that's fine, we're going poison damage.
I have to say though, I don't like that support pick into what your opponent has. They only have burst damage, and Lucio has nothing against that before level 10. And then again, like, you can Power Slide is like 12 seconds, Alarak combo is 11 or something, Uther stun is 10-ish. Liming can combo into anything every time, and Lucio has to use Sound Barrier every time ETC slides in. That's not realistic. So, in that sense, like, it's very good with your comp, but it's quite bad into the damage type your opponent is showing.
What?
So, Vikings? Question mark?
If it's not Vikings, I'm going to be shocked.
Yeah, so what would you take otherwise? Would you take... You don't take ABBA with
I don't think you take ABBA with this. I think this is a bad ABBA comp. Yeah, it's classic. Like, N.E.W.T, this is what they play on this map. They have a reasonable success rate with it, but I don't know. I do worry a little
Yeah,
bit
this all
because those
depends on.
Vikings, if they're overextended an inch against either a Greymane or a Sonya, they're just going to get smushed.
Yep. It depends on like the early game from both teams, I would say. The side of N.E.W.T, they want pickoffs. They want to have like a 3 or 4 man roaming against your Vikings.
Mm.
And on the other side, you want to like win the Viking lane and not die. Which is and it's gonna be an interesting dance here. Like vision is gonna be important. Merlin anchoring for his team, basically never being in lane because it doesn't have to, and just following the 4 men around and hopefully not dying into Alarak etc. So it's gonna be interesting to see here how this turns out.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game, that is for sure, as we are loading for game number 2 of this best of 3 series between My Little Pony and N.E.W.T, with My Little Pony currently with the 1-0 lead. However, let's introduce these teams. On the right hand side, we have N.E.W.T with Chowchilla on that ETC, Peter on that Alarak, Zeti on that Limi, Astraeus on all 3 of those Vikings, and Minion on that Ufa.
And in the blue on the left we have My Little Pony with again Sonya played by Rainbow Dash, Lunara played by Anteriadas, Lucio played by Shneko, Merlin played by Eragonas, and Greymane played by Sneaky Turtle.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So it looks like we're having a 3 Viking split at the start here.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I'm usually more of a fan of having the Vikings doing the top 2 lanes there.
Yeah, I think you could do it 2 ways. This enhances your 4-man more than the quad bot would, because the comp for N.E.W.T isn't
Oh,
good.
Sneaky Turtle, look out! That is exactly what N.E.W.T need to be doing all game. Put the fear of God into My Little Pony.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. This is why you have the Viking split instead of like 2 mid and 1 top. So you can use this heavy ganking 4-man to get value.
However, how much of an issue is that Lunari damage going to be? This is going to be the question. Will the Ufa be able to keep up with it?
It's a good question. We will have to see. Greymane trades with Sonya top to push in better against the Eric, which can basically do nothing. He's just going to lose towers here. So it's up to the 4-man to get some value here, hopefully. Greymane already takes the tower top. Sonya's gonna win versus Olaf in the mid lane and Balin chilling bottom. Oh, big combo, but the slide misses in the bot lane.
But the problem is for N.E.W.T here is they have such heavy push in the middle and top lanes here due to that Sonya and Greymane, 2 very good solo pushers in their own right. It does make life very, very difficult for him. So I'm going to expect one of the Vikings to go for the top right one and for the 4-man of N.E.W.T to try and prioritise this bottom point. If I was My Little Pony, I would personally be sending either Greymane or Sonya to the top right point to see if they can take advantage of those Vikings, as we do see Balor dropping.
Yeah. So having a scrap in the middle, and Sonya's gonna get that top left altar and then gonna join down. So now it's up to the 4-man to delay this, which they have pretty good tools. They have Liming, they have Alarak, and they have the combo potential, but Alarak misses. ETC just peels for his team. They get Merlin, goes for the stun.
Need to be a little bit careful here because Alarak is taking a good chunk of damage. Sonya coming down just to help them secure this point. Ufa though taking a lot of damage and does fall there, unfortunately. Alarak trying to see if he can get a counter kill onto the Muradin, but is not enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, I feel like with the comp you have to go. I would like to see more aggression out of ETC. There's always defensive slides. There's never the offensive one to confirm kills. And I think like Merdin is quite deep. If you just slide him and focus him, he probably dies. But oh, it's Merdin, it's not worth targeting him. It is. He can still melt like any other hero. So perhaps some more aggression out of ETC and like more confidence.
Yeah, instead of just AFK bot, they really, as Fro says, they do need to be looking to get those picks a little bit more. I think that's where they excel, is trying to pick a fight there. Really nice power slide onto Lucio. Nothing there to follow up, however, as Alarak is taking a lot of damage and does fall there. Need to be so careful with those Sonya flanks. Just does so much damage.
Yeah. Grayman in the top is able to pick up the Sapper camps, and Eric is gonna have a rough time defending it. Same for the middle. Sonya's winning versus Olaf. And this bottom lane is not really working out. This is what I was talking about. I would like them to gank the solo laners more. But they've basically stuck themselves here in the bottom, and it's difficult to get something done.
Absolutely, really struggling to get any pressure here. We do have a flank here coming from the Alarak, who is looking to see if he can pick something up here.
Be ready. You must capture them quickly.
Yep. Or the bush, but nice wisp placement by the Lunara.
Sonya coming in with the flank there. Need to be a little bit careful here on the side of N.E.W.T. Hopefully we'll identify the fact Sonya's in there. Nice power slide there. Good amount of damage being put onto Moradin. I do see what you mean, and they get the kill there. Just as you said, they can get those kills on that Moradin. He is extending really, really far, and this should now be an easy point for N.E.W.T to pick up.
Yeah, or if they don't, they get Viking value for days. It's in the best interest of my opponent to not contest this, so you can quicker go back to lanes. And it seems like they do. Sonya does some scouting. Yeah.
Oh, Eric dies
falls.
in the top lane.
Yeah. So some free push for the top. Olaf goes up there to hold the fort. Scouting by Belog, misses the Stormbolt by Merlin.
As we do see the Discord strike
failed
missing.
jump.
They are going in quite hard on this campfire, and they do pick it up. Lucio needs to be really careful there. He is hovering around just on the right hand side.
Nor just face checked ETC. That's brave. Oh man. So double camp in the bottom though for N.E.W.T here. This is good. Nice slide. Oh,
yeah, I think they're recognising they can get these kills onto this Muradin. Finally listen to what you're saying, probably. They can start getting kills, and this is a really big deal. Getting this bottom fort is a huge deal for them. Yes, Greymane is going to get the top, however, the bottom lane is such an important one.
Yeah, it's the most important one for sure, just because of the double sappers in the bottom, and now they just move on to clear out middle, get some more damage there on the towers. Not super worth, perhaps, but if you need to trade back the top fort, then this may be worth it.
Oh, looking at getting that front wall down, which they have now done. Would like to see them heading down into the bottom lane now. As Eric dies once again, I don't know where.
He died into the minion stop, I believe.
Feels bad, man.
A bit too much for the Vikings to handle right now. Pressure is on. Points, dead even. Now we see the full fight bottom though. Combo onto Lucio.
And this is where having a Viking gets you so much value. A beautiful 3-man mosh pit. Lots of damage following up. Muradin drops. Greymane drops. Sound barrier is a little too late. And they're having to run away from a fort. This is probably going to be a kill onto the Lunara as well. Exactly what N.E.W.T needed. They should be now looking to push some more structures, I think. Or potentially get some shots in with these camps if they do so rich.
Yeah, you can get double sappers and then either you clear out your own top lane or you get boss.
What did Balog die to there?
Sonya?
Must be
Lucio?
Sonya.
I don't know. Mid lane he fell. Going for the middle though, I'm not sure I agree actually. It's the least valuable lane because you can't push sappers through it and you're not gonna get like the full 6. No way.
And they're going to have to be a bit careful here. I don't think they're going to have enough time to get this all the way down. But because of a flank that is going to come up here.
Yeah, their siege is not good because of Alarak. His sadism trait does not really lend itself to PvE.
Oh, this is a bit of a dodgy rotation from N.E.W.T here. Makes me very nervous. Just in that
now
middle bit.
you actually lose one fort because you did not defend the bottom one. So a bit of a macro mishap here.
And they're no closer to getting that top either.
Yeah. Perhaps they lost Vikings, put them in disarray, I don't know. But yeah, they have a talent advantage, and they're bullying their opponents in the bottom lane here.
So we have a double altar phase spawning here. Sonya is in that top lane, does manage to get that Sappercamp. Probably is going to go through. That single Viking is not going to be enough to stop that Sappercamp there at all.
No.
However, in the meantime, we are having to engage in the bottom lane there. Chow looking around. I wonder if they're just going to try and look to exchange here, as we do have a Viking in the bottom getting chased off at that point by the grey main there, and in the middle as well. Sonya is going to be able to pick that up.
They're going to get 3 shots top.
And they secured the 5 shots mid, and they're probably going to get the 5 shots. 5 shots bottom. They're probably going to get the 5 shots mid here. Everybody really low on the side of N.E.W.T here. However, we do have the zoning mosh there, not really doing a huge amount. Baylog drops, Li Ming drops, and N.E.W.T are going to be forced to give us up.
Yeah. Very disorganized fight overall, I think.
Indeed.
Kind of hard to call as well.
Might get the counter kill on again.
There you
Nicely
go.
done.
3 heroes. If you interrupt his jump, he dies every time, and you have so many tools to do it with. So nice counter kill.
That is a 9-shot advantage for My Little Pony now. And the level lead that N.E.W.T had has decreased significantly. And they're finally sending Baylog up to clear that top lane, realising Eric just isn't enough to do it on his own.
Yeah, especially when you keep getting the camp pushing into you, you're not gonna like AFK push it back with Eric. You need some more...
needs a bit more attention.
Yeah.
However, Baylog's not clearing it properly. He's kind of leaving him be. Focusing a lot of times microing his shots on Eric in the mid, and I don't agree with that. You should be getting Baylog to try and push this top lane, and now you've got the sappers up there. He sent it back up as well. Oh, beautiful leap there. A very good divine shield onto the Alarak. It's probably not going to be enough though, as he is going to fall here. We do see the ETC dropping as well. Lots of poison damage onto the Ufa also, who is able to just get away. And now we have the bottom lane pushing. And this is the absolute worst time for this to happen for N.E.W.T, because triple ult phase is here, and they're going to have an advantage in manpower. They may even look to get all three altars here.
They could, for sure. If they get the top right, there's no way you can contest the left one. And bottom is going to be there, so just by triage you need to kind of force this one on your own side. You're gonna get 1 shot out of it, 2 shots, sorry, but yeah, it's in a very rough position for N.E.W.T, and they're still in this because of the Viking XP, but you're so far behind on the map right now that Vikings has a hard time doing anything.
Wow, Vikings haven't...
Enough of this charade. Bring down the gravekeepers.
They're not channeling the altar. Do they realise they didn't channel it?
I don't know. Possibly not. They must have thought that they actually had it, but it's up there. Olaf gets the interrupt. Sonya.
I'm convinced they didn't realise that they didn't channel it.
Has taken a tower.
Yeah, it's very likely. So now they have to fight without some Mountain Vikings into 4. You have Mosh though, so that's good. You have Divine Shield. They have option to go here.
Oh, 3-man mosh pit. However, Sand Barrier is enough to save that Lenara. So much poison damage being put out by the Lanara here. Despite being 4 versus 5, they are having to back away here. Peter dropping oh so low as they do get the counter kill onto that Anorak. Sonya absolutely wrecking in their backline as well, as the Ufa does indeed fall there. You've got some aggressive Vikings going after the Lanara, and this is probably this is game. They must have not realised they didn't channel it.
Probably not. That's all we can say, really.
Yeah.
It's a mistake that should not happen, and every player on the team knows it. Every player on the opponent knows it as well. Like, it's a mistake that happens, but it feels really bad.
Yeah.